Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. After a thrilling novice matchup that went Game 7, we are here in the Prospect League, where we get our second matchup in a row that is the 2nd seed versus the 7th seed, where we got the Melons versus Hypernova. I am Fly Penguin, here with my pal in the booth, Iroza. How are you today, Iro?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good so far. Could be better, could be worse. I can't complain, but I'm ready to see some good Nemesis action tonight.
Couldn't have said it better.
We got the 2nd seed Melons, who ended the season 3rd on the power rankings, and they were 13-5 on the season, going against the 7th seed Hypernova, who were tied for 4th in power rankings to end the season, who ended their season 9-9. The last time these two teams met, Melons took it 3-2, but that was at the beginning of the season. It was only the 3rd match to start this prospect season. Who do you think you got in this one, Iro?
I'm gonna have to say the Melons are gonna stay strong on this one, especially with their roster and how they've been picking up throughout the season. That I cannot say that they're going to be stopped today. That's just me.
Really quickly for me, I'm gonna say Melons 3-1 here. I'm gonna say Hypernova takes one, but we're going to get really quick into the action here as we have B-Tree, Kenemon, and Ultimus Rule for Hypernova. We got Adala, Vokes, and Alpha Q for the Melons as we get into this action. For the Prospect League playoffs, we got Kenemon on the ball. It's rolling towards the net, and Adala can't make the save. Kenemon opens the scoring with a slow roller just 7 seconds into the game.
Man, nobody was expecting it. The bump came out of nowhere. Everybody thought that Adala had it, but he just got bumped out of the way.
What a play by Hypernova to start the game. They are definitely not favored in this one, but to end the season as strong as they did, to get 4th in power rankings and to make these playoffs from the play-in run, they beat the Bandits 3-1 in the play-ins to earn their spot here as they're getting off to a hot start to start this playoff matchup. As Kenemon meets Alpha Q as he sends it into the Hypernova defensive end. What a fast-paced start to this game as they are all over this ball. Kenemon puts it on just wide, cleared away by Alpha Q. Hypernova keeping the pressure up as they are ready for the clear, but a big dunk by Adala. But right back into the Melons end by Ultimus Rule. They're trying to keep it in this end. They've had pretty good pressure so far, Iro. What you think about that?
The amount of pressure that they've been giving to the Melons is just immaculate. You know, I was kind of concerned because they brought in Ultimas, which I'm not sure is their normal starter. I'm pretty sure it's Fear over him, and I was concerned because they didn't have him in, but they're showing that they can work perfectly fine.
Ultimus Rule, 1353 MMR, definitely low prospect. Not their normal starter, as it is Fear, as you said. Ultimus not being able to make a lot of games this season, but hopefully he's going to be able to make a big impact here. The ball rolls to him exactly. He goes up. Can he double it? He gets dunked by Vokes. What an opportunity from Ultimus. He is a mechanical player, and he wants to get clips on whoever he can, and he will trash talk too, given the moment, as he gets a big clear right to Kenemon as they go right back into the offensive end. The Melons are just getting shoved back into their own end. They can't get out. Ultimus with a pop over. It's floating out front. Adala with a big save as the Melons get the clear. Ultimus sends it right back as they continue their onslaught here on offense. Hopefully soon they'll be able to finish here, Iro.
Melons haven't been able to give themselves any opportunities. All they're doing is banging this ball into the purple half and praying for the best. They can't do that, especially whenever you start to get higher up in the leagues. Oh, that was a close attempt by B-Tree. But the more and more that you just bang the ball, the higher and higher you are in the leagues, the less it's going to work out.
As Adala took some control there and flicked it over the Hypernova net. Great opportunity for the Melons, but nothing comes of it as Alpha Q pops it into the opposing end. Adala sends it to Alpha Q. What a pass! What a shot! They tie the game up 2:21 in. What a play by Melons.
Hypernova were all over the place. They had nobody back. B-Tree was the closest person, but Adala noticed that. He couldn't get the shot off and popped it up right for his teammate Alpha. Beautiful.
What a play as the shots are 5-3 over halfway through this game. You'd think if Hypernova could put the ball on the net a few more times, they could have run away with this game. Ultimus going up. Can he double it? He gets a shot just wide, but the pressure's still on. The Melon's not clear yet, but they do make the clear as they relieve some of that pressure. Big demo from Beatree just to slow the Melons down a little bit, but Adala not letting that slow down at all as he wants to get another goal here and take this game lead as Kenemon gets carried. Alpha Q dunks a Hypernova player, and it's floating above his net. Adala there, but Ultimus with a big save.
I swear the Melons are listening to the stream. The second that I said that they need to start taking control and stop banging the ball, they started playing the ball to one another. It almost left Hypernova completely answerless. They couldn't do anything for the first few seconds. That demo saved them huge.
The Melons are short players. Look out for an unfortunate own goal gives the Melons the lead. Just a minute 18 left in the game. Vokes put it on, and Kenemon was there for the finish.
I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that would have been the cleanest goal if it was just on the other side of the field.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate to see, but only if he was on the other end, that would have been a great play indeed. But Melons with a 2-1 lead, they will take any goals they can. It is the playoffs. It's do or die here. You win or go home. It is a best of 7, though, so you got a lot of games to make up for that. We are just under a minute to play. 2-1 Melons lead. Hypernova seeming to have the advantage all throughout the beginning of the game as the shot rolls around the corner. Adala credited with the shot, but no one there to finish. Unfortunate from them, but they still have the lead. They will take the pressure as Adala goes up for it. Oh, big save by Kenemon. Alpha Q around the corner. Big demo in front. Vokes credited with a shot. Big pressure from Melons as they're just draining time off this clock. Alpha Q keeping the pressure up. 25 seconds left in the game. Beatree with a bang. Hoping to get something or anything out of this opportunity. It's getting shut down quickly by the Melons. The Melons, a top-tier team. You do not want to give them the lead, as they clearly will shut your team down. 10 seconds left. Will the Melons hold out? They're in the offensive end, keeping up this pressure. Hypernova needs to act now. They need to act quick. 2 seconds on the clock. It can't hit the floor as it does to end this game 1. Melons take the series lead.
You know, at the beginning, it looked like Hypernova were good. They were ready to take on this Melons team. They didn't care about their record. They didn't care how good they were. They opened up with a banger. Melons got themselves situated, and the whole table just turned. It just shows you how good this Melons team is, especially in only a lower... It's still considered a lower rank division, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Hypernova... Oh, my bad. Excuse me. You can go.
Hypernova had all the pressure at the beginning. They seemingly were running away with this game and maybe this series, but they couldn't finish on their opportunities as they had 6 shots on net. Melons really turned it around as we get into game 2, but you look forward to see more Melons domination, but hopefully Hypernova can tap into what they had at the beginning of game 1 and get back into this series, Iro.
You have to remember, too, Hypernova, they're going to need this game for a real confidence boost, but if they can't get the win on this game, it's best of 7, so it would be smart to call a timeout after a 2-0 deficit. Just recollect your thoughts, think about what's going on in the game, and think about how you can work around the mistakes.
Absolutely, the timeout can work wonders, whether it's just to give your team a breather or just to get some motivation or coaching, just to figure out what you need to do to take the next game. 2-0 deficits are mostly where we see it as Adala with a double. No one even up to challenge him as he was just too dominant there.
Adala takes the skies. Off the backboard, saw that nobody was there, figured may as well give it a shot, and he just put it right in the upper 90.
What a beautiful shot from Adala as they take the 1-0 lead. Just over 30 seconds into this match. Off the kickoff, Alpha Q's up. It's going to waterfall off the backboard. Adala with the follow-up. Kenemon there to make the save. What a play by Melons there. Just seemingly just too dominant here. As Ultimus, with a big flick and the shot on, but Vokes with the save. This Melons team is just showing their dominance as Adala gets a demo and it just rolls into the net. 4 minutes left. 2-0 lead for the Melons.
Adala's taken this game by himself, and it's only been the first minute. He didn't even need any kind of special touch there. He just told the defender that he wasn't allowed to play the game this time.
Absolutely deleted off the field. We do have some demoers here, but seemingly on the Hypernova side is Beatree is 4th in demos per game in the Prospect League. But what a demo from Melons as Kenemon Toast answers back. 4 minutes left to play. We still got a lot of game left, and Hypernova finally answers.
He said screw it. He doesn't care. He's just going to throw his whole car into the ball and pray for the best. And God answered his prayers. That ball is in the back of the net, bringing Hypernova back into Game 2.
Absolutely, and that's huge for momentum, as it seemed Melons were just running away with this series. They had a lot of momentum, and they seemed unstoppable, but that's a huge goal for Hypernova. And hopefully they can start coming back as Beatree with a shot. What a pass from Kenemon. It's all tied up. Hypernova showing that Melons can be crushed.
Oh, the pass, the 1-2. Little give and go action. I believe that Kenemon got a few bumps there, but again, in the prospect ranks, once you start connecting with your teammates, you do so much better. I personally wasn't expecting it to happen on the Melons, but it scrambled their whole defense. They didn't know what to do.
Oh.
As another shot comes in, oh my goodness, bounced off the floor. Kenemon Toast just throwing his car into the ball again. Beautiful pass from Ultima, setting that up. Oh.
3 straight goals from Hypernova, seemingly just shutting down this Melons team, like tapping into what they had in Game 1. They were just so dominant. Now they're starting to finish their nets. Call it stream nerves, playoffs nerves maybe, but Hypernova surely settling in, and they're finishing these great opportunities. We got a series on our hands as Kenemon goes around the corner. Vokes couldn't make the touch. Melons looking to clear, but it's floating right in front of their net. Alpha Q couldn't make the touch, and Ultimus finishes it.
It was a great see by Ultima to realize that Alpha wasn't going to get that touch. But again, that touch from Alpha needs to be there. A better position there would be on the backboard. At least have somebody sitting on the backboard, again, to prevent double taps, like Adala just showed. But we need people on the backboard to stop those kind of things.
Absolutely, the backboard is one of the best passers in the game. As a lot of goals you see, Alpha with a shot, Kenemon with the save. But yeah, those backboard passes can prove to be detrimental to teams that can't play that backboard defense, as Alpha sends it off his own backboard and works as a clear. Vokes has an open net, no one there to make the save, and Vokes brings his Melons team between to 1 goal. What a play by Vokes with a 87 km/h flick there, carrying his team, hopefully to cut this deficit to 0 and tie it up. Still a lot of time left, 2 minutes 45 as Adala scrambles on the ball, bailed out by his teammate, and he gets possession. But Kenemon with a big dunk. Alpha was awkward, but he gets the turn and the save. But Hypernova, a streaky team in this series, gets the shot and they make them pay.
The passing plays are just too elite right now. Ultima off the wall to himself, up the middle, right on top of Beatree's car. Beatree doesn't even have to do anything other than just fly forward, and it is in the net. Well played by Ultima to set up a two-goal lead for Hypernova.
Ultima's rule was novice at the beginning of the season, but given that 2-day buffer to try and get your MMR up, he's creeped into the Prospect League, and now with 3 assists in his team's playoff game to bring them back from a 1-0 series deficit. But the Melons looking to answer as Adala puts it on. Oh my gosh, this Melons team will not go away as it's 4-5, 2 minutes and 7 left.
And all of Hypernova just pushed up way too far. That nice little pass towards mid, and Adala was barely able to get that touch, but he made it count.
For every Hypernova goal, the Melons seem to have an answer, but Beatree looking to answer quick off the kickoff. Couldn't quite get there as there was defenders back, luckily for the Melons. They're still within 1 goal. Looking to tie it up here as Adala beats the defender back. Vokes has a free shot. He doesn't need it as Adala just clears it over the last defender into the open net.
Again, it's that getting too cocky and then coming out way too far. Kenema missed his first touch, so then I couldn't see who it was, but I believe it was Beatree who thought that going for it again to try to help Ultima, or not Ultima, I'm sorry, Kenema get back. He thought that was the right play, but you just can't overcommit like that, as you saw what will happen to you.
What a save there from Vokes as he keeps his team tied up here. But Adala with 4 goals here this game on 5 shots. What a player there, Adala, as he is just a playoff peaker. I remember last season, season 7 in the playoffs, Adala showed up for his Melons squad and showing here that he is just a playoff performer. You want Adala in clutch games. But him and Vokes combining, but Ultima's trying to answer. But these Melons players are showing up when it means the most. And 5-5 with a minute left in the play, Iro.
Kenema right there, he had a nice little opportunity, but he just didn't have the boost to get to it. This overtime, it's either going to be a lot of bang the ball back and forth or a lot of possession plays from both teams. But whoever just can end up with a better possession, as of right now, coming into the final 40 seconds of the game, with a better possession, they will take the win. That's a nice clear from Vokes, but right into an opposing player. But Alpha just shuts him right back down.
2 players on this Melon squad with Savior medals, as Hypernova has, hold on, quick math, 14 shots on net in this 5-minute span, but the Melons won't go away as Alpha Q tries to air dribble it to avoid this overtime game. We are under 15 seconds left to play. Adala with the ball. He's got the hot hand. He does not have the finish. Kenemon and Ultimus looking to counterattack. 8 seconds left. Will this go to overtime or will they end it here? As Vokes floats it up in the midfield. Beatree there to meet it. 1 second left on the clock. It's floating towards the Melons net. It's going to die for overtime, Iro.
This ball was floating straight into the Melons half, and Vokes wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't care if they were going to take possession or not. He just wanted overtime.
Our first overtime of this series, looking to be an intense one, as 2 great teams duking it out. As we got a back and forth series that is honestly so thrilling and tiring. Oh, Alpha Q taking advantage of the Hypernova mishaps, but they get together and they try to get out of this defensive end, as they seem to have been. They seem to be stuck, but Ultimus with a big clear, looking to follow up on it. Kenemon meets Adala for a 50. Vokes to counterattack. It's floating towards the end, but Beatree there to send it back. They're playing volleyball here in this overtime, as you called, Iro.
It's a lot of banging the ball back and forth. I'm pretty sure the first team to start taking possession, I don't want to jinx it, but that's how they're going to score.
The Melons earlier, when they had control of the ball, they slowed down and played their game. They took advantage as they seemed to be just too dominant to stop. So, but Vokes with a shot, and Beatree not able to make the save as Vokes with perfect placement right behind him to take this 2-0 lead, 6-5 in overtime.
Yeah, that all started with Adala just posing the threat. He had the ball on top of his car. He didn't want the goal. He just wanted to get the ball mid. And folks saw that wasn't going mid, so he stayed on the side of where the ball was going to go, and it just landed right on top of his car. He had a wide open net.
Hypernova hates to see this game go away from them, as they had the same amount of shots that they had to end the game or end the regulation. In overtime, they only ended with 14. Still impressive, but the Melons with 11 of their shots, scoring on 6. The Melons defensively there showing their prowess as they just remained calm on the defensive end and making those desperate saves and to steal this one from Hypernova as they dragged from beneath and just came back to take this game in the 2-0 series lead.
At the beginning, this series is so back and forth. Like, I'm out of my seat every single play. At the beginning, we thought, Melons, the 2-0 lead, they're gonna take it. And then Hypernova just come in out of nowhere, and they get 4, I believe it was 4 goals of their own, unless it was 3. But then the game just went right back to Hypernova's corner. This game has just gone so back and forth. Like, it's so hard to tell what's actually going to happen right now.
Two great teams battling it out in a classic series, it seems, in Nemesis history. We've seen a lot of greatness. Could this be one for the record books? But the Hypernova has some work to do to get it there. So they're down 2-0 in this series. This is the first game this series without a goal within 30 seconds or so. But Adala stopped on the goal line, trying to get that quick goal to answer back. Hypernova had great pressure, not being able to finish, seemingly to be the story of this game. Adala floats it up, easy save for Beatree into his own corner. Hypernova just trying to answer back to take that game too that was stolen from them, hopefully to take it now, because it seemed like that game was all theirs, Iro.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, it looked like game one was all theirs too, and then again, Melons just started taking possession, and they won. It's a battle of possession at this point. Whoever takes the most possession is going to end up winning. It just sucks because in these lower ranks, a lot of players just see the ball and they fly at it. It's either their benefit or their downfall.
See ball, hit ball, as it has been at points in this series. Hypernova had a chaotic series of events there on their goal line, but no one from the Melons able to make them pay. 2-0 in this series. Hypernova finally getting shut down offensively. It seems as Adala with a shot. Big save by Kenemon. This is seemingly to be the Melons' best game, at least defensively, as Hypernova has had nothing so far. But Ultima's looking to change that as he goes into the offensive end. Gets their first shot of this game, but Vokes with the easy save. Floating above the Melons net. Beatree there to make an attempt, but no shot on off the backboard. No one there to finish for Hypernova. They're looking to pick it up as they are winning the battle in the midfield, but it's floating in Hypernova's end now. Kenemon bringing it out. He's met by Alpha. Adala there to meet it next. Can he make a touch? He does. He goes off their backboard, but Beatree there with the clear. Vokes off the backboard to Alpha Q, but met by Ultimus. What a game this Game 3 has is the scoring is not there quite, but it's seemingly to be a more back and forth even matchup, but low scoring as it is, Iro.
I know, I was going to say that. I mean, last game we were a minute in and there were already 2 goals. This game we're about 3 minutes in and there are 0 goals. Again, I don't want to keep beating the same thing over and over, but the possession game just isn't really there. You'll see part of the times one of the teams will take possession, but again, excuse me, Adala just tells me to be quiet real quick. He wants to get the first goal of the series. It was a nice little bang up the field. Nobody could do anything about it, so he just takes it.
Adala with the pass to himself, taking possession for himself and to score that open net with a pass off the backboard to take this 1-0 lead in this low-scoring affair. Hypernova still only held to 1 shot compared to Melons 5. The Melons really settling in, playing their game already with a 2-0 advantage, looking dangerous for them as they're just shutting Hypernova down offensively. We know Hypernova has that ability to score goals and get pressure and just peg shots off the net to give themselves opportunities, but they're getting shut down here by this Melons defense with a big double commit from the Melons, but luckily enough it goes into their offensive end, met by Adala. Hypernova with a big miss in the corner. With Kenemon gains control though, gets a 50 to hopefully relieve some of this defensive pressure and to change it into offense, but Adala meets it. It's floating towards the open net. Alpha Q finishes it off, Iro.
Man, I don't want to say that was all Alpha's play, but that was... at the beginning, he kind of scared Beatree out of his own net, which opened it up. Adala noticed that, so he just banged it towards their net. What else can he do? Just make sure it goes in. Alpha turns right on it, just bangs it as hard as he can into the net, and we're at a 2-0 Melons in Game 3, whenever the last few games have all been 1-goal games.
The Melons sure stepping it up here. Adala, the man of the match, set Alpha Q up for that 2-0 goal. As it goes in front of the net, nothing there, no one there to meet it. With a great pass on the Melons end. It gets sent back into their offensive end. Beatree a little awkward, he can't make a play. Adala goes off the backboard. 2 players commit, and it does not go in as it goes just above. We are under 30 seconds left to play. Hypernova needs to act now. They're on their back foot. trying to avoid the 3-0 series deficit. Reverse sweeps and best of sevens, near impossible at this end with the way Hypernova has played in this game. It is possible but improbable as the Melons send it out. We're getting 10 seconds left in the play. The timer is up and showing the 3-0 series lead for the Melons. Near and near as the Melons with the pressure, and it just drops. Oh, Vokes keeps it up. Kenemon with an answer, but it's over. The Melons take the 3-0 series lead as it continues to float, Iro.
You almost want to think, why didn't they take their timeout? Why didn't Hypernova take their timeout after that second loss? They just called for their timeout now, but you have to think, is it too late? Is it already too late to call that timeout? Are they calling the timeout to cool off the Melons, or are they calling that timeout to try to figure it out? I feel like this one has to be, to cool off the Melons.
60 seconds for their timeout will start once we get into the next lobby, but Hypernova has a lot to figure out as they were just completely held inert on offense as they only had 5 shots compared to their 14 of last game. The Melons just settling into their own game. Maybe this is what the Melons want. They want to be able to control the ball and just shut down the opposing team's offense. So it's looking like they're playing more themselves here. And as we go into this game 4, Hypernova of trying to avoid the sweep here as they're playing for their playoff lives. I mean, you are going against the tough Melons who are all over the stat sheet. All players, all 4 of them, it seems, especially the 3 that are on the field, Iro. But what do we need to see from Hypernova to hopefully bring this back?
I'm going to say it again. Possession. That's been the biggest thing. Almost every time that they've taken possession, it's resulted in a goal. Now, I'm not going to lie. Hypernova, I feel like they're fans of the Mighty Ducks, because a lot of last game, every time I saw them taking possession, they were in a flying V formation with their 3 players. I'd see 1 player in front and 2 players on either side and behind. Both of them, not both of them, excuse me, but that setup right there, it cannot work out. They need to space out more.
Absolutely, especially you can play a 50 on both ends if you win it, but if you lose that 50, you have no defenders back. And as much as I love the Mighty Ducks, I don't think we're going to be seeing a triple deke for Hypernova to bring this series back. So they just got to get their pressure in offensively and get set up. So hopefully they can get some more shots on, as it showed like they can compete with this Melons team if they just get their offensive pressure, hopefully finishing some of their shots, as we have seen that they can do. But as they were shut out in Game 3, hopefully they can score a goal here early and get some momentum as it's floating above. Ultimus jumped the gun a bit too fast, but Kenemon there to finish. But Vokes with the save. Big save from the Melons as they showed that with 7 saves on 14 shots in Game 2, that they will be there on their back line to make a save. As Vokes with a high shot, Adala not there to finish it off. Alpha Q, the next on the ball to Vokes. Alpha looking to follow up, but it works as a pass. Can Adala cheat up? But he plays patiently there as Kenemon takes control, but he's 50'd by Adala, floating in the midfield for someone on either team to take advantage. But Kenemon takes it slow, beats a couple defenders. Can he go quick? He goes for the demo, and no goal there from the Melons, or Hypernova, I should say.
It looked like it wide open. It was going to be, they were gonna turn over their series. They were ready. It's their turn, but they just couldn't get to the ball. You know what they need? I feel like they need a good drink together. They can't be parched this game. They need to get a good drink together, and hopefully it'll help them work out.
Hopefully during their timeout they take a well-needed hydration fuel up, as Vokes is going towards their net, but Ultimus there to make the save. It was an interesting decision to go for the demo when you had the open net. Maybe try to ball him or get it around him, but I like the play for a demo, but you got to hit that there as he made the easy save. You could be up 1-0 in this game to try and bring it back, but you're giving the Melons more of an opportunity to take it away as Ultimus demos Vokes, deletes him off the field as they try to have this offensive push the Melons do, as they're making it with 2 players. But Vokes on his way back with a big whiff. You wanted to see more from that shot, but they still on offense. They still have possession. They still have the pressure. As Alpha Q goes up, he has the double, but just off the crossbar.
He was just way too fast to that ball. If he would have taken his time just a little bit, it would have been less of a pancake. But I may have been a little bit of nerves because, you know, double tap on stream. Everybody wants to clip on stream. They want to show that they want to start their stuff. They want to show that they're good. But he was just a little too fast to it.
Absolutely, as he had a second opportunity that he missed well wide. Hypernova player with an opportunity himself to finish it off the backboard, but given Adala an air dribble as a result on the counterattack. Alpha with the power shot. It goes high. Kennemon up. He gets a crucial touch to keep it clear from the Melons offense. Still 0-0. 2 minutes left to play. 2:15 to be exact. As Adala given an opportunity, met by Kennemon. Ultimus with the pop straight to the Melons offense, but luckily for him, Kennemon was there to bail him out. 2 minutes left to play as Adala sends it into the offensive end. Only 2 shots from Hypernova to Melons 5. Iro, what do the Hypernova have to do to get some shots on this net and get the pressure on the Melons?
It's a lot of having to be able to get the ball out of your own half. You know, a lot of it, as they've been, you know, getting these clears. They've been getting the clears that they needed. They've been getting the saves that they needed as a nice little shot. Nobody in Melon. Wait. Where's everybody from Melons? Alpha just turned straight up and Adala just can't get to it. That's 1-0 for Hypernova.
Adala with a clean, last back is a clean shot from Beatree. Just goes bar down, gives Hypernova the lead they desperately need to keep them in this series. They're down 3-0. The pressure's on and they are sweating, but they are showing up and showing out when desperate times call for desperate measures. With a play by Beatree to give their team the lead, as Ultimus takes control with 1:14 left, looking to kill some time or maybe get another goal to secure this game, as the game is not over yet. Adala with an opportunity met by Alpha Q, who gets the read. It goes off the backboard, but cleared by Ultimus. Now that is open if Ultimus can go quick, and it's a 2-0 lead for Hypernova. What a counterattack to get the insurance marker that they need to hopefully avoid getting swept here, Iro.
These passing plays have been doing wonders for them. Again, another little 1-2 will almost always work out for this Hypernova team. If you want to talk about the Hypernova strength, it is passes. Passes will take them. Honestly, I'll say it now. If they can get this reverse sweep here, which would be incredible to see, and let alone cast on stream, then I feel like they could take these passing plays to the next level, to the next game.
They could definitely take their level of play out of this world if they could connect on more of those passes and hopefully get this reverse sweep. That would be an honor to cast with you, but it's one game at a time as they look to hold on to their 2-goal lead. 20 seconds left. The Melons are scrambling on their defensive side. Luckily, it wasn't dangerous enough for the Hypernova to take advantage. Melons running out of time, but they still got some games in hand, but you don't want to lose one. You want to end the series here as Vokes sends it to the opposing end, but not enough time left on the clock as Adala tries to get that one momentum goal, but Hypernova takes this game 2-0.
This is crazy. What a crazy turn of events. Last game, Hypernova lost 2-0. They didn't care. They called their timeout. They took their drinks. They said, you know what? This is our game now. They turned it around. It is 2-0. Now, Melons, they looked very shaky that game. They could have called a timeout here to clean it up, but right now they're just going to try to power through it. I personally don't know if that was the right choice. They have to show me wrong here.
The Melons are a confident squad, to say the least, but Hypernova, they're taking a game with only 4 shots on net, or sorry, that wasn't right. 5 shots on net, sorry, and 3 saves from the Melon squad. So they were on their back line, and the only shots that they couldn't save were the ones that cost them the game. Big demo in the midfield from Alpha. Ultima sends it back, but Hypernova didn't need the shots that they had in Game 2 to finish off that game 2-0. So proving to us that they don't need the shots on net to win these matches here, to stay alive, as Ultimus goes off the ceiling, flips away from it, not able to make an effective play, but it goes right to Kenemon here in this Game 5 to hopefully seal the series for the Melons or for Hypernova to stay alive. Ultimus hopefully trying to step up for his team some more, as he has shown early in this series. Hopefully an X-Factor play from him as he gets deleted out of the sky by Vokes, but Beatree to counter, giving his team an opportunity here. Was the lack of physicality here, Iro, as we saw from the Melons early in this series, they were taking advantage of, but would you like to see more of that from either team to try and take advantage?
I feel like Beatree's listening to you because he went straight for the demo after that one. I feel like, it's risky. It's very risky. You have to, in order to take a player out of the play, you have to remove yourself from the play. Do you trust your teammates enough to completely take yourself out of the play and make them end up in a 2v2, possibly a 3v3 if you mess up? It's very risky, but most of us are American. We love to gamble.
We love to gamble, and we love to see things explode. Yeehaw. But as Melons looking to stay alive in this game, just shut down Hypernova, as Adala with a shot on. The Hypernova defender couldn't make the save. Just under 3 minutes left to play, and it's 1-0 for the Melons.
They got too greedy. Again, like I was saying, do you trust your teammates enough to take yourself out of the play to lead them in an eventually 2v3? Or eventually, possibly, excuse me. Because that 2v3 that, I believe it was Kenema, that he just left his team to try to get a bump off. And it did not work out for them. Again, that's the high risk, high reward. You took the risk, it didn't work out this time. Are you going to try to go for it again? Or are you going to try to take it back to your old roots? Remember, last game, it wasn't that physical of a win. You don't need to get too physical against this Melons team, as you just saw. Just try to play your own game.
Hypernova with a gritty Game 4 win, but they're down in this Game 5. Will that demo play cost them their season, as they are down 1-0 on match point, as it floats down for the Melons? Alpha Q to finish. What a pass from Vokes. What a finish from Alpha Q to get that insurance goal. A little over 2 minutes left to play for the Melons.
Everybody was pulled out. They're going back to their Game 1, Game 2, where they're just overcommitting way too much. There's only one player back to stop an aerial goal that could go almost anywhere, especially coming from anyone on this Melon squad with how talented they are. It's just, you need to stop overcommitting if you're anyone on Hypernova. I get it, you're down, you need that goal, but what's more important? Getting that, losing by 2 and, putting in a valiant effort, or going all in and possibly losing by 10. That's what you have to play in your mind right now.
When you need to score a goal, you need to score a goal, as the Melons have done twice, as they're looking for a third, but Beatree with a big save to keep his team alive. 3 shots from the Hypernova squad, and they have an opportunity here. Oh no, he missed the ball, or was he going for the demo? Either way, Hypernova left without a goal. 2-0 for the Melons. Seemingly an open opportunity from Hypernova, as they had 3 players to Melons 1 at most, if any at all. As Adala looking to finish off. Oh no, what a pinch. Finished off by Vokes. What a play from Adala there, as he takes to the sky again, gets over one, and pinches it underneath another, leaving it open for Vokes.
Oh, I thought he had it. Alpha almost saved it. He was right there, but Vokes just had enough power behind him. I thought Adala had that. You said that earlier. You said earlier how Adala, he's a big playmaker, in the important times, like playoffs right now. I remember last season we saw him absolutely destroy in the playoffs, making crucial plays just like that. And if Adala keeps playing like this, hang on, he might go for another one, but quickly shut down by Kenema. Again, if Adala keeps making these amazing plays like this, Melons will continuously be unstoppable unless they overcommit like this and Beatree just reads it.
It's not over yet, as a pass from Kenemon and Ultimus both being up there leaves it wide open for Beatree with a slot right in the low corner. 30 seconds left to play. 2 goals. We have seen greater. We have seen farther deficits overcome. Can Hypernova come back? 23 seconds left to play with their season on the line. They need to throw everything, their hopes and dreams, at the Melons net. To just hope to stay alive a little bit longer as Adala floats it into the net. Hypernova defenders were there, but they could not make the play.
Oof. I'm not going to lie. We're going to call this game over because I'm sorry, Hypernova, but I don't think that you can come back within 12 seconds. I'm going to say that play earlier this game where we saw, the all 3 Hypernova players rushing towards the green half. They had everyone there. I don't know if there was anybody on the green half. And Kenema just went straight for the ball when Beatree had a wide open shot. If they would have worked more as a team there, I feel like this game would have gone completely different. But unfortunately, it went how it went. And now, we can congratulate Melons on their 4-1 win against Hypernova. You almost called it, except you said 3-1.
Oh, unfortunate for me. So used to the 5-game series, but we'll say I had it right.
Yeah,
I
I'll give you
gave
the
the
3
Hypernova
points.
1 game. But yeah, congratulations to the Melons there. They go on to play the winner of the Gladiators or Origin, who plays Saturday at 9 o'clock. Be sure to tune in for more epic prospect action that night. But congratulations to Hypernova. You really played well during this season. Unfortunately, you came short. You hate to get first rounded, especially in such a heartbreaking way there to end the game when you just needed 2 goals. Time was winding down, and it just floated in your net. Heartbreaking as it is, but them's the breaks. You got to nut up or shut up here in the playoffs, and Hypernova's looking a little quiet as the Melons advance. Congratulations to them. They're proving to be a dominant 2nd seed.
Man, I mean, you could call it dominant. It was dominant towards the end, especially in Game 5 and Game 3. Those were dominant games. But everything else was so back and forth. I'm not going to lie. At first, I was completely agreeing with you. Melon's completely taking over. And then Hypernova just came in, and they showed that, they still had the stuff to keep up. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, you can't just keep up with the team. You have to beat them.
I mean, Hypernova really brought it to them. When you have a game with 14 shots, you show that you can compete. But if that's a game that you lose, that's going to cost you a series when that game was well within their reach. But unfortunately for them, too little, too late, not enough to compete against this Melons squad. So we'll see how far the Melons can go, as they were 2nd place last season. So we'll see how far they can get this season. But as we'll take a little break here, as we get into the next match, we go to the Novice League. We get the Wisps, who are the 1st seed in the Novice League, going against Aurora, who made the play-in run and to just barely squeak into the playoffs. We look forward to seeing that next.